Today, the new Hyundai i20 is being launched in South Africa. And as much as we love attending car launches, sometimes it doesn't give you a full opportunity to experience the car that you're reviewing. And that is why we've brought this i20 here into a nice quiet spot so that we can get to know this car a little bit better. The biggest talking point, of course, is how this new i20 looks. It's almost as if Hyundai took the old car, balled it up, and threw it completely away. This new design is really striking, it really is emotion stirring, and personally, I really like the way that this car looks. The main feature from the front of the vehicle that really stands out is this big gloss black grille here. And because this car also has a matching front splitter, it really makes the car look quite aggressive. And the funny thing is, this is not even an i20N, it's simply a top spec derivative. But despite that, it really looks the part. Moving to the side of the vehicle, we see a strong shoulder line that runs all the way to the end of the car, and that really gives the vehicle nice definition on the road. This is the top split fluid motion, so that gives you 16-inch alloy wheels, which do complement the way the vehicle looks, but my favorite feature when it comes to the side of the vehicle has got to be this gloss black side skirt that matches both the side mirrors and the roof of the car. The most out there design element of this vehicle has got to be the rear. Because if you look here, you'll see that the tail light extends from the side of the car all the way through to the rear, and it incorporates the fuel cap design. Again, we see sporty elements with this rear diffuser that's also finished off in gloss black. And when I look at the car as a whole, I do see elements of the new Hyundai Creta, which is not a bad thing. For those of you who are wondering how big the boot is, you do have 311 litres of boot space, which is more than adequate for the day-to-day commute and the occasional weekend away. The only strange thing I am noticing is the fact that this car does not have a 60-40 split, so the seats can't go down independently, and that's something that you see in most cars within the segment. To increase the elegance and visual aesthetic of the interior, the new 10-inch digital instrument cluster in front of the driver and high-resolution 8-inch center touchscreen infotainment system have been visually combined. The steering wheel is equipped with modern toggle switches, while its color accents are also matched throughout the interior. The first thing you notice with this new i20 is just how planted on the road it feels. It's got a nice firm suspension setup, not too firm for it to be uncomfortable, but firm enough so that if you're driving a little bit more spiritedly, you're not going to feel nervous with the car that's wallowing on the road. Secondly, I do love this steering wheel. The way it feels also feels like a high quality item, and in fact, the whole interior, yes, there are plastics, but they also don't seem like cheap plastics. If anything, this cabin is actually better than some of the competition out there, and I actually do like this setup. We are in the top of the range fluid two-tone spec, so you are going to get more bells and whistles in this car, but even then, the standard specification on these vehicles is still very good. In terms of power, I have got 90 kilowatts on offer and 172 Newton meters. And as you can see, this car is quite spirited in the way it drives. This engine does react quite well. In fact, in some instances, you almost feel like you've got too much torque because the car does slightly battle with traction when you put your foot flat. But for normal day-to-day driving, that torque actually comes in very handy because it always means that you've got enough shove when you are driving day-to-day. What's quite interesting is the gearbox in this specific model. So it comes with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. But unlike other manufacturers who outsource their dual clutch transmissions, Hyundai actually make their own gearboxes in-house. And I must say I'm quite impressed by the changing characteristics of this transmission. It's not too slow, it's not too jerky. For an in-house product, it's actually quite good. In terms of safety, you do have 6 airbags that are in this car, so that's a very good thing. And you do have ABS and EBD, which is something you can now expect in a vehicle of this segment. Overall, if I were to sum up this new Hyundai i20 in one word, I would use the word complete. It feels like a vehicle that gives you exactly what you would need out of a car in this segment. And I'm glad to see that cars such as this, the new Opel Corsa, VW's Polo, they're all high quality products and they're really giving the consumer more than what they can expect. The age-old saying remains true: go big or go home. And if you want to compete with the likes of the VW Polo, you need to go big. Thankfully, that's exactly what Hyundai have done with this new i20. After spending the day with this vehicle, I must say that this is a lovely and complete car. I really like what this car has got to offer. Is it big enough though to dethrone the Polo? Only time will tell.